We must go now.
Papa!
Tiago, go with your mother to the trap. Take this. It will always be your guide.
Yes, Papa.
We will join you shortly.
Xavier, the painting.
La maledicción. This way.
Senora, it is too late. Go.
No! Papa!
Senor, in here.
Search them. Of course. Paris in the spring. Passion, romance, l'amour. I was working in art insurance. It paid the rent, just about. And then, by chance, I met Nico at a private view.
You didn't tell me that you were back in Paris, George?
We should catch up. Let's have lunch.
Nobody move!
No, monsieur, not la malédiction. Oh.
Stay back.
Once again, Paris had shown me her dark side. A brutal robbery, a senseless murder. Nico and I were about to be drawn into a new and terrifying adventure together. The gallery owner was dead. I guess sometimes playing the hero doesn't pay. My company had insured the exhibition, so I had a crime to solve. The cops would be here soon. I didn't have much time. Nico wasn't answering her phone. No surprise. The priest was administering the last rites. Excuse me, Father.
Yes, my son.
I'm George Stobart. My company insured the exhibition.
My name is Simeon.
Is there anything I can do?
You can pray for his soul.
A senseless murder.
On the contrary, this killing makes plenty of sense.
What do you mean?
A great evil has taken place. This is the work of the devil.
What?
I am a Dominican priest. I know these things. And now, excuse me, I must pray.
1 minute, I'd been planning dinner with Nico. The next, I was talking art theft, murder, and the devil with a priest. It was my phone, mankind's most treasured possession. Hello, Mr. Rickenbacker?
Stobart, what do you want?
Mr. Rickenbacker, there's been a problem.
Why does that surprise me? This better not involve the Blue Lizard.
Afraid it does, sir. There's been a robbery.
Oh, terrific.
Only one painting was stolen, though.
Well, what are you wasting time talking to me for? Find that painting, or find a way to avoid paying out. 2 ways to keep your job, Stobart.
I see. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Anything else you gotta tell me?
The thief had a gun. He shot the gallery owner dead.
We insured him too?
No, sir.
Well, that's one piece of good news. At least tell me you got some leads.
No, sir, not yet.
Well, stop chewing the fat with me and do your job. And call me when you have some good news.
Will do, boss. I didn't want Henri's blood on my hands. Poor guy. Poor guy. He definitely looked better. I always wondered who bought those white-framed glasses. Now I knew. There was no way anyone would have survived that. A small purple nozzle was poking out of his pocket. In Henri's pocket was a tiny bottle. It was a bottle of Brett. The label claimed it would wake the beast within. Poor guy. There was a small piece of paper in the dead man's hand. It was too intriguing not to take a look. It read, 2:30 p.m., be ready. Innocent enough, until I realized that the robbery took place at 2:30 p.m. There was something fishy going on around here, and it wasn't just the canapes. I quickly replaced the note. A cryptic note in a bottle of overpowering cologne. No personal effects or anything else of substance. I needed to find where he kept his records. Ah, Brett. The fragrance that dare not speak its name. It was Hector Lane, France's greatest art critic. We'd met before. It hadn't ended well. For a moment, I thought he was dead, but from the snoring, I guessed he'd only fainted. In the pocket was a pair of nail clippers. They were monogrammed with the letters H.L. Lane was out cold. I was going to need something to bring him around. Time to awaken the beast. What?
What was that? It smells like the 70s. Where am I?
You fainted. Welcome back to the land of the living.
I wouldn't exactly call this living. Don't just stand there. Get me something to eat. I've had a terrible shock, you know.
Lane had the kind of looks that only a lifetime of fine dining can create. Excuse me, Mr. Lane.
Food! My nerves demand food!
The thief left the pizza box behind. I wondered what was in it. Well, no surprise there. Pizza. The guy must have been hungry. There was only one slice left. No one had noticed the pizza box fall onto the floor. I decided to leave it alone. The alarm still worked on that painting. I wondered why the stolen painting's alarm hadn't sounded. All I needed was a mere 65,000, and this little gem could be mine. 55,000. Huh, shame. Just outside my price range. I found a slice of pizza.
I asked for food, boy, not a cardboard simulacrum.
Oh, okay, if you don't want it.
I didn't say that. Now give it here. Given the circumstances, that was surprisingly acceptable. Now what's been going on? Oh, Henri, is he
Dead? Afraid so.
Poor chap. Just like him to steal the limelight, though.
Excuse me.
Do I know you?
Yes, our paths have crossed in the Glees Gallery.
Of course, the man with the absinthe. I don't suppose you...
Afraid not.
Pity. I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble remembering your name.
I'm George Stobart. I insured the exhibition.
I hope you have deep pockets then, my boy.
Could I ask you a few questions, Mr. Lane?
Fire away.
Did you know the gallery owner?
Of course. We worked together on the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Henri provided the space. I was the creative powerhouse.
How long had you known him?
As a friend, many years. Our professional relationship had only recently blossomed into this exhibition, under my curatorial wing. And now the poor fellow has gone and got himself killed.
Do you know anything about the stolen painting?
Of course, dear boy. La Maledictio, a little-known work, turned up at the last minute.
What about the killer? Were you able to get a look at him?
A delinquent in a tin hat. Beyond that, I don't really recall.
Oh, yeah, you fainted.
Those of us with a higher aesthetic are more sensitive to violence.
So you curated the exhibition? What's it about?
A brilliant retrospective. A dialectical window on European art's ongoing discourse with the unresolved psychoses of the nation-state.
Wow, you took the words right out of my mouth. Who painted the stolen painting?
Therein lies a mystery. We only know his pseudonym, El Serp. He was a Catalan, a modernist. His works are symbolic, religious.
What can you tell me about the stolen painting?
La Maledictio, a challenging piece. If you like a wide cast of obscure saints and fringe Christian symbolism, of course. Not especially valuable, though. The thief won't get much for it on the black market.
How about some more of this?
I don't think so. As a sel volatile, it was acceptable. As a cologne, it would be barbaric.
Are these your nail clippers?
Of course. See, they're monogrammed with my initials.
I need to ask you a few more.
If you...
Father?
Yes, my son.
What did you mean when you said that a great evil had taken place?
Your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
What?
Peter 5:8. The devil is all around, Mr. Stobart.
Did Henri say anything before he died?
He said, "Stop the car, I want to get in."
What does that mean?
We may never know.
What brought you to the exhibition, Father?
The painting.
Which one?
La Maledictio, of course.
The painting that was stolen.
I had to confront the evil.
What do you know about the man who painted La Maledictio?
El Serp. He was a man playing with fire, the fire of eternal damnation.
Tell me about the stolen painting.
Whoever gets close to it will burn in hell.
Hey, Father, how about a squirt?
I think not.
Do you recognize these?
Nail clippers. I'm not.
The poster looked old. I didn't want to touch it. Spanish modernists certainly didn't come cheap. I wondered how many paintings they'd sold at these prices. As they say, every artist was first an amateur. I could have bought a nice car for the price of that. Spanish modern. I'd already tried the alarm on that one. Better not set it off again. For the discerning connoisseur, the bust was balanced precariously on the pedestal. I didn't want to knock it off. With luck, the security camera had captured the robbery. The cable for the camera ran into the room marked private. The door was locked with a keypad. If I wanted to get in there and look at the CCTV footage, then I'd need to find the number. Lane worked with Henri, so he was likely to know the code. Another. This was where the stolen painting had hung. Why that painting? And why kill for it? The stolen painting had an alarm, which should have sounded when the painting was removed. I needed to find out why it hadn't. So that was why the alarm hadn't sounded. A wire had been cut by someone who knew exactly what they were doing. This was an inside job. The button bypassed the pressure pad system. Cutting the wire had disabled the pads. It was the speaker. Could Lane be the saboteur? I had to find out. The stolen painting was called La Maledictio. The stolen painting... But why? Why? I didn't think there was any need to test another painting alarm. It was clear that tag said 60 grand. Wow. I need to ask you a few more questions.
If you insist. I'm still in shock, you know.
So, you help run this place? Maybe you can give me the code to that door.
The code to the office?
I just thought you might have the number.
I do, but I couldn't possibly give you access before the police arrive.
I figured I wasn't going to get the door code from Lane by playing nice. I needed to turn the heat up. Are these your nail clippers, Mr.?
Yeah.
Huh. The perfect implement for cutting the alarm on the stolen painting.
What are you saying?
Well, the alarm was sabotage, Mr. Lane. It was an inside job.
Are you accusing me? How dare you? I had no reason to kill Henri, no motive whatsoever.
Okay, but I don't think the cops will see it like that. And I sure would like that door code. How about it, Mr. Lane? Ready to give me the door code yet?
Certainly not. Give me a single reason why I should.
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
I've been away from Paris for several days and only got back this morning. How could I have cut that wire?
This is an inside job for sure, Mr. Lane. The police are going to be very interested in your recent movements.
I've been out of town for several days, and last night I retired early.
Just saying.
You're not going to scare me into giving you that door code, you know.
I was onto something here, and I knew it. Lane was sweating. It wasn't pretty. How about it, Mr.
Certainly not.
Guilty by way of... Mr. Lane, this robbery is not going to reflect well on you.
As I said, I shall take my chances. You're not getting...
I hate to say this, Mr. Lane, but you're going to be the #1 suspect for this murder.
So you keep saying, Mr. Stobart.
So you'd been out of town and hit the sack early?
Ugh, keep that noxious potion away from me.
Guilty by way of nail clippers. Father?
Yes, my son.
I think there's something strange going on here.
Yes, Mr. Stobart. At last you see the truth.
No, Father. I mean that the robbery looks like an inside job.
The devil's work is always an inside job.
A wire in the painting's alarm was deliberately cut.
Cut by the devil himself, perhaps.
Well, as far as I know, sightings of guys with horns and tails have been a little down recently.
You mock me, Mr. Stobart. But as you will discover, the devil likes to have the last laugh.
Do you know the code to get into the office?
No, but you could always pray and ask for divine guidance.
With respect, Father, I'm looking for a slightly quicker solution. Do you know anything else about El Serp?
I've already told you everything I can.
Is there anything else you can tell me about La Maledizio?
I've said everything I can.
Take a look at this, Father.
I've already given.
Take a look at this, Father.
I've already.
I decided to leave it alone. The cable for the camera ran into the room marked private. The cable for the camera ran into the room marked private. I still needed to figure out the code to that keypad. Nope, I needed to try something else. Someone had cut a wire and sabotaged the alarm. The pressure pad appeared to be working fine, but the cut wire had ensured that the alarm wouldn't sound when the painting was removed. The street was quiet and upmarket, not the kind of place for an opportunist thief. From out here, you couldn't see the stolen painting. This robbery was definitely planned. The room looked like some sort of office for the gallery. I could just see the glow of the CCTV monitor in the corner. That wouldn't make any sense. You gotta hand it to the French. They know how to take a leak in style. I've always been a sucker for Parisian stained glass. Excuse me.
Monsieur?
There's just been a robbery at the gallery.
Oh, really?
You don't sound surprised.
All property is theft, monsieur. And all art is property. Therefore, all art is theft. Do you not agree?
Well, when you put it like that, it's hard not to. Did you see anybody run out of the gallery earlier?
There was a beautiful woman with a camera. She was chasing somebody.
Oh, that must have been Nico.
You know her? You surprise me.
Can you tell me anything about the man she was chasing?
I assume, monsieur, that like all of us, he is inherently unknowable.
No wonder this guy's cafe was empty. The gallery owner, Henri, was shot dead trying to stop the robbery.
Life has no meaning the moment you lose the illusion of being eternal.
Right. Did you know him well?
Can we ever truly know another human being, monsieur? He spent little time at the cafe, unlike his friend, Monsieur Lane.
What do you know about Le Lizard Bleu?
It's bourgeois, vacuous, and overpriced. Just like its curator Lane. He's always in here, you know, talking art to his latest flusée.
What do you know about Hector Lane?
Lane? Oh, yes. He drinks here sometimes. He slid away last night without paying.
Last night? What sort of time?
After midnight, for sure. If you see him, give him this bill and tell him to pay up next time.
The check was from last night, but Lane told me he was nowhere near the gallery. This could be the leverage I needed to get the office door code from Lane. Would you like a squirt of this?
Are you suggesting I smell, monsieur?
No, sorry. Do you recognize these?
They are nail clippers.
Thank you for your
Perhaps next time you come, I will give you a coffee.
Lane had run up quite a bill at the cafe. Take a look at this.
What of it?
It's your bill from the cafe next door.
So?
It's dated yesterday. Last night, in fact. 12:30 to be exact. You said you were out of town. You sure drank a lot of champagne last night without paying the bill. But you told me that you were away from Paris last night. I hate to say it, but that sounds like a lie to me. Tell you what, you give me the code to the door, and the police need never know. A motive and proof of involvement. Not looking good, Mr. Lane.
You are a blackmailer, Stobart.
Just doing my job.
All right. You have me. The number is 6397. But I admit to none of these spurious accusations.
I had the code. The police would be here any moment, so I had to work fast. What was that number again? 642... No.
Everyone, hold it right there.
Damn it.
I am Inspector Navet of the Paris Serious Crime Squad, and I hereby declare this crime scene open. Closed. Now, nobody move, especially you on the floor. Mo, I want a total lockdown. Nobody in or out. Apart from me, of course.
I needed to get back into the gallery, but a familiar figure was guarding the door. It was Sergeant Mou. Our paths had crossed before. My press card. It opened some doors, but not as many as I'd have liked. Here's my press card. Do you have a statement for the paper?
Yes, madame. Stay away from the crime scene and let the police do their job. And always leave a light on when you go out at night.
Sergeant Mou, we meet again.
Aha, Madame Collard. An unexpected pleasure.
I was in the gallery at the time of the theft. Can I get back in?
I am sorry, but I am under strict orders from Inspector Navet. Nobody in, nobody out. And I must correct you, madame. It is no longer just a theft. It is a murder.
Mon Dieu! That poor man! I witnessed the crime. I've got to get back in there.
I'm sure you can make an official statement in good time.
I saw the thief. I think I can help the investigation.
I am implacable, Madame Collard.
Who is Inspector Navet?
The most promising young investigator on the force. A genius. A man blessed with almost superhuman insight.
He sounds highly perspicacious.
Madame, it is not for us to talk about the inspector's sweaty proclivities. He is about to solve his third case in as many days.
So, what's he got that the other investigators don't have?
Blood spatter. He is the world expert. He reads the entrails of the crime scene like a book.
I really need to get into the gallery and speak to Inspector Navet.
Tut. He is not to be disturbed. He is applying his famous scientific methods. Any moment now, the case will be cracked. I certainly hope so. I am dog-tired and want to go home.
I chased after the shooter and got a photo of him.
Inspector Navet will be delighted.
You've got to let me into the gallery to show him.
Absolutely not.
So, I cannot go in without Inspector Navet's permission?
No.
And to get Inspector Navet's permission, I need to go in.
Exactement.
Have you ever heard of Kafka, Sergeant Moore?
Madame Collard, I do not see what soccer players have to do with this.
No, he's a... Never mind. This was madness. Sergeant Moore wasn't going to let me in. Why are you so tired, Sergeant Moore?
I have been working for 3 days with no rest. Navet is a genius in his field, and he assumes that we all have his energy and vigor.
Oh, you poor man. If you'd like to go and get some sleep, I will watch the door for you.
That's very thoughtful of you. Ha! A cunning attempt to make me a deserter, madame. A gendarme never leaves his post.
Well, how about a hot drink?
Ah, that would do the trick for sure. Unfortunately, I mustn't drink on duty. My doctor specifically warned me against it after the last... incident.
That incident you mentioned, what happened exactly?
I don't want to talk about it. All I can say is it was very unfortunate. I am on duty, and I need to focus.
Moo wouldn't be interested in my press card. Thanks, Sergeant Moo.
Madame,
Bonjour, monsieur.
whatever it is you want, we are closed.
Then why are you standing here?
You would not understand, madame.
Try me.
Because I look at you, and I know you are like all the others.
The others?
The pretty women who shop, who gossip, who have their spa days, their almond croissant.
That bad, huh?
And the men with their grooming products and their shiny shoes and their skinny suits who come to my cafe and ask me for lattes, macchiatos, frappés.
I see your point.
Is this what we fought on the barricades for, madame? Ripped up the paving slabs, bled on the streets.
Isn't it?
No, madame, it is not. We fought for ideas, for philosophy, for freedom, equality, fraternity.
Vive la révolution.
And do you know what drove us on as we fought? What fueled the streets of Paris in that glorious spring? What made our hearts soar?
Cheap wine and free sex?
No, madame, no! It was French Café Noir that inspired us. The simple demi-tasse. The black, sweet taste of freedom.
So that's why you closed?
Yes, madame. I serve only thinkers, philosophers, revolutionaries. And you, madame, with your polite top and your pointy heels, are none of those things.
This is a cafe.
Yes, to the right people.
On any other day, I would have given this guy a straight one to the chin. But there was a chance he could help me get into the gallery. Here's my press card.
La liberté. Madame, you are not the person that I took you to be. You must accept my deepest, my most profound apologies.
Well, of course I accept. But why?
La liberté, the great journal of freedom. At the height of the battle, as the tear gas blew and the blood flowed, it was La Liberté which carried the voice of our revolution to the world. I know now that you are not the kind of woman who would ask me for almond croissant. You are a true daughter of France, and I am your humble servant.
Monsieur.
The road to enlightenment is a long one, madame. Perhaps you will walk that road with me?
Could we have a little chat?
Any time, madame.
Did you see anything happen at the gallery earlier?
I saw you running after a pizza delivery guy. Somebody said he killed someone.
That's true. He stole a painting and shot the gallery owner.
How close we are to death. And yet how far from ever comprehending it.
Well, right now I need to get back inside and figure out what happened.
I applaud you, madame. To seek the truth is a worthy ambition.
As a journalist, that is my duty. How about some coffee?
For you, madame, of course. There is only one coffee that I can serve you. Black, strong, and in a tiny cup. One moment. Here is your coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur. The coffee was hot and strong. Could you make me a coffee to go?
For a fellow revolutionary? Of course, madame. One moment. Here's your takeaway coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur. The waiter didn't. An intricate stained glass window, irresistible to any... Hi, Georges. I'm outside the gallery.
Thank God you're safe, Nico. I tried the phone, but I couldn't get an answer.
Inspector Moo is out here, and he's not letting me in. I managed to grab a couple of photos, but the guy got away.
Poor Henri is dead.
I know. Why kill him?
I've been trying to find out. Turns out the alarm was tampered with. Looks to me like an inside job.
So, no ordinary robbery?
And no ordinary painting. The priest claims that La Maledictio is evil. I need to get into the office and see what the CCTV has to offer. Maybe you can help me out when you get back in here?
Ronnie? I'm at the exhibition over in Montmartre. You won't believe the scoop I've got.
You're kidding me. That place is a dump. What could possibly have happened to make it exciting?
A painting's been stolen, and the gallery owner's been shot.
What? Okay, speak to anybody who saw what happened. Scope out the place. And call me as soon as you get a story. If you're quick, we can make the evening edition. Bye, Nicole.
This could be the scoop I'd been waiting years for. Sergeant Moo, I brought you a coffee.
Coffee? Fantastic. Just what I need. But wait. I must not. My little problem.
I'm sure one little cup of coffee won't hurt.
I'm tempted, madame, but I cannot risk it. I am sorry.
So, this incident, it involved you, some coffee, and your little problem?
It is a tale of woe, madame.
I'm all ears, Sergeant.
Well, since you seem quite understanding, I shall elaborate.
Please do.
I was in charge of canine security for the president himself. One day, en vacances, he went for a private discussion with a lady minister. I stayed alone with his dog, but I had drunk a coffee to stay awake, and nature came to call. So I tied the dog to a tree and went for a secret pee-pee. When I came back, the dog was having a liaison dangereuse with the lady minister's terrier.
But how did they find out?
Well, 2 months later, the president's Labrador gave birth to 6 beautiful mongrels. And I was busted to sergeant just after the president's divorce came through.
You are a victim of a great injustice, Sergeant.
You think so?
But of course. You knew you must not fall asleep at your post. You were guarding the president himself.
Well, the president's dog.
Ah, it was the same thing.
Yes, I suppose.
And by drinking that coffee, you made the ultimate sacrifice for our glorious republic. Your career.
Now you put it like that?
And now France is calling you again. She is saying, drink, Sergeant Moo, drink!
She is?
She is. Drink or fall asleep at your post. Which is it to be?
I suppose it is drink?
Bravo, Sergeant!
Oh dear. Oh dear. Excuse me, madame. I must use the petit gendarme's room. It has gone straight through me. Could you watch the gallery door for me?
Oh, you can count on me, Sergeant. I distracted Moo. It was now or never.
How did you get past Sergeant Moo? Well, you won't fool me so easily, madame. I shall question you later.
Nico, am I glad to see you.
So, what's the problem?
The inspector's watching me like a hawk. I'll never get in without some sort of distraction.
I'll see what I can do. The bust was striking. I'd never met the gallery owner before, but he showed a CCTV camera watched over the room. Inspector Nave, do you have a moment?
My time is of the essence. Be quick now.
I suppose this is quite a complex case, Inspector.
It is a robbery gone bad. Nothing more, nothing less.
Surely there's a bit more to it than that.
Please abstain from baseless conjecture, madame. The victim's body paints a simple picture, more reliable than any witness statement. Consider the impact of the bullet, and note the concomitant lack of blood. A casual homicide. Nothing more.
Don't you find it odd that the thief chose that one particular painting?
Life is full of odd things, madame. Fingerless gloves, white dog poo-poo, nasal hair. I prefer to concern myself with murder.
Did you see the alarm was sabotaged?
I have interrogated the crime scene, madame. I am fully aware of the disabled security. I prefer biological evidence to the merely circumstantial. Body parts, blood, important things.
Don't you think the disabled alarm is highly suspicious, though?
The forensic team will be along shortly. Voice your concerns to them. Do not bother me with this circumstantial fliff-flaff.
Why don't you check out the security camera footage?
Madame, that is not my area of expertise. It is the body which concerns me.
But the CCTV footage is evidence. It could help identify the killer.
Correction, madame. It is but an indicator. The only true evidence is bodily fluid. Unless you know something I don't, then please leave me be.
The only evidence Inspector Nave seemed to appreciate involved gore. What do you think about the American, Georges?
He is deeply suspicious.
Could you give me a statement, Inspector?
Now is not the time, madame.
Thanks, Inspector. I'll let you know if I remember anything else. If I was going to distract Nave, I needed to unearth new evidence or concoct some. And the bloodier, the better. Are you Hector Lane, the art critic?
Enchanté, madame. And which of the angels are you?
I'm Nico Collar, a reporter.
Ah, a fallen angel then, my favorite sort.
What can you tell me about the painting that was taken?
It was called La Malediccio, an unknown work that only recently surfaced.
Who was the artist?
A mysterious figure known only as El Serp. Some say he was a student of Picasso. He was good, but not great, and his true identity remains unknown.
What can you tell me about the theft?
Oh, it was truly awful. What do you want to know?
Have you spoken to Georges?
The American?
Yes.
He promised to clear up any misunderstandings the police might have about my presence here.
What can you tell me about Henri's involvement with the gallery?
Dear Henri, a shining diamond in the ordure that is the modern art business. He owned the gallery. What will we do without him?
Tell me about the shooting, monsieur.
Oh, it all happened so fast.
Take your time. What did you see?
I can't be sure. Perhaps I could answer your questions over dinner.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I'm on a tight deadline. Did you see the thief?
I would have tackled him, but he was too quick for me.
Did you know that the alarm had been sabotaged?
No. How dreadful. I suppose that's why the alarm isn't ringing.
Here's my press card.
And there was I thinking you were too young and beautiful.
Thanks for your help, Monsieur Lane. I wasn't going to get anything useful from Lane. Poor guy. Excuse me, Father.
Father Simeon, my child.
Are you okay, Father?
It's a terrible shock, but yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Could I ask you some questions about the crime?
What kind of questions?
I'm a reporter for La Liberté.
I suppose it cannot hurt. Please ask away.
Why did you come to the gallery today, Father?
God brought me here. I saw the poster for the exhibition. I had to come.
What do you mean?
I knew there was great evil in La Maledictio. It was my duty to confront it. The painter was El Serp, the serpent, don't you see?
Evil? So, what were you planning on doing here today?
I wanted to bear witness to anything that the devil would conjure.
Well, I think it was a no-show, Father.
Really? A man is dead, Miss Collard. I'd say his work here today is done.
That wasn't going to help my story. Did you see anything that might help identify the killer?
The devil takes many forms, child. I didn't get a good enough look.
Anything would help.
I'm sorry, my dear. My mind was elsewhere.
What do you know about Henri?
An innocent victim, insofar as any of us are innocent. If he was peddling such blasphemous works as the El Serp painting, then who knows what other sins he was hiding.
Father Simeon was making me feel guilty. Priests always did that to me. What can you tell me about the painting?
Grotesque and evil.
How can a painting be evil?
By killing all who come into contact with it.
Does that mean we're next?
Laugh not at the devil's play, Miss Collard.
Do you know anything about the painter El Serp?
He was a purveyor of blasphemy, a servant of the Antichrist.
How can you know that?
It is clear from his work.
Father Simeon was making a lot of assumptions. This is my press card. As I said, I work for La Liberté.
Good. Be sure to warn your readers that this painting is evil.
Thank you for your time, Father. The priest had nothing useful to offer. Josh?
Yeah, Nico?
So why do you need to get into the office again?
I'm pretty sure the robbery was an inside job, and I think the proof is in the office.
So, what's stopping you?
Super cop over there.
What if I create a distraction?
You do that, and I will let you have whatever I find.
That's a deal, Josh. Somehow, I had to get the inspector away from the office door. It was the alarm for... Poor guy. The tomato sauce had splattered on the floor. I spread some of this sauce around with my shoe. It looked a little bit like a blood stain, but it still wasn't right. If I was going to distract the cop, I had to get rid of that gum. That wasn't worth trying. I scraped up the chewing gum with my press card, hoping the inspector wouldn't notice. The tomato sauce looked as close to... The gum was well chewed and still sticky. Inspector!
Yes?
Have you seen the stain on the floor over there? It looks like blood.
Indeed. How very curious. I must investigate immediately, before one of these idiots steps in it. Interesting. Maybe it is time to employ the machine.
Okay, George, that should distract him for a while.
Nice work, Nico. I'll let you know what I find in the office. I was sure the inspector hadn't seen me slip away, but I needed to be quick, because it wouldn't take him long. It was a pretty flamboyant-looking clock. The CCTV system was ancient. It took individual shots and recorded them to tape. It looked like I needed to enter a passcode to view the recording. I needed to find a 4-digit number. A pair of evil eyes stared from a partially covered poster. I didn't imagine if Henri was a guitarist. The frame containing pressed flowers. Henri sure liked. I didn't like the idea of a pocket full of sharp pins. I didn't need a business card. The lighter was corroded and grimy. It'd probably never work again. I decided to leave it. Carrying an ink pot around inside, the ink would have... I didn't feel the... It was the paper that Nico lived for the day her story would be on. There was nothing else in the drawer. The folder looked interesting. This was very definitely tampering with evidence. It was a completion of work notice from a company called Vera Security. They weren't the guys we'd recommended. Henri had gone behind our backs to choose a different security outfit. I'd never heard of Vera Security, but there was an address and phone number on the form. The statue was jaunty. Up close and personal, I could see that the fig leaf was hinged. Henri had the engine capacity. Henri sure had his... The street was quiet. A naked lady stared at me seductively. The trinkets, the junk, the instruments... Henri was kind of a hippie at heart. The sofa had clearly taken some punishment over the years. It looked like the poster advertised a 1975 Stockholm Music Festival, headlined by a group called the Hairy Lobsters. The calendar looked like a child's school project. Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday. Poor guy hadn't quite made it to his big day. Henri's notice board was covered with I... And there I was, thinking that Henri might have set such an obvious code. No such luck. I needed to find a 4-digit number. Thankfully, there was no one around to see me do this. Very interesting. I wasn't going to open the safe without the key. I was fairly sure that even Henri wouldn't be silly enough to keep it hidden in the office. I wasn't going to open the safe without the key. The woman in the picture looked vaguely familiar. It didn't look like... Henri had ringed. It was a pretty The telephone was an antique rotary model. The handset looked greasy. It was hard to tell if the lava lamp was retro or just plain old. Henri may have been a hippie, but a hippie with plenty of disposable income. A pair of evil eyes.
Hello, Vera Security?
George Stobart here, Paris Mutual.
Never heard of you.
Really? Well, I'm surprised. We're leaders in our field in commercial insurance, and our brand recognition is...
Do me a favor. Don't call back.
The lady hung up. I was going to have to visit in person. That was never going to happen. That was... It would have been stupid to phone. Besides, Mr. Rickenbacker? I found a piece of paper that shows Henri went against my recommendations for security.
And?
I guess I'm just wondering why.
Well, you're on the case, Stobart. Just find out where that painting's gone.
I had no reason to search the desk again. It didn't look like... The phone was... I knew it'd be... That wouldn't make any sense. That was never going to happen. That wouldn't make any sense. That was never going to work. Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday. No. Bingo. I rewound the tape to before the robbery. This was the first interesting frame. It was Henri studying La Malédiction. He couldn't have had any idea what was about to happen. That was the earliest Nico and I were taking a look at La Malédiction just before the robbery. Funny, the painting didn't strike me as remarkable at the time, just odd. A good view of La Malédiction. I could kind of see why Father Simeon thought it was evil. There was a certain presence about it. The killer caught in the act. There was nothing really distinctive about him. The moment it all went horribly wrong. The killer making his getaway. A logo on the front of his helmet read Waterloo Motors. That could be useful. The painting was gone. There I was, taking a look at the alarm box. Hopefully I didn't look too suspicious. That was me fiddling with the alarm. The alarm should have sounded when the killer took the painting, but it had been sabotaged. I wondered who could have done that. Maybe Lane, or even Henri himself. Or perhaps even Vera Security, who'd installed the system. I hadn't thought about that when I was taking a look at the camera. Not my best angle. That was the last shot. I'd got some leads on the killer's identity. A closer look at the painting might be useful. Poor Henri. This frame caught the moment. The CCTV had caught the killer in the act of lifting La Malédiction from the... He knew exactly which painting to take. The image was a little fuzzy, but in the center of the painting was what looked like a snake eating its own tail. I thought about what the priest said. There was definitely something unsettling about the picture. It seemed that whenever Nico stepped back into my life, so did trouble. The most striking aspect of the painting was a snake eating its own tail. There I was, looking at the exhibition. I didn't want to go back into the gallery just yet. I might not get another chance to look around. I opened the compartment again. I had no reason to... Ah, bread. That would be pointless. That was never going to work. It would have been... Besides, the street was... It was a battered sofa. A 1600 The poster advertised the frame containing pressed flowers. If Henri was a guitarist, then I'd underestimated him. That wasn't worth trying. I had no reason to cut the guitar strings. That wouldn't make any sense. It didn't look like there was anything important on the board. I needed a better idea. The completion note from Vera's security. There was an address. Lane's nail clippers. Ah. It was a strategic. I opened the... I wasn't going to open the safe without the key. I wasn't going to open the safe without the key. Now that was a safe. No way I'd be able to pick it. That wouldn't have worked. A 1600cc Type 2 VW camper, painted in hippie colors. That was almost a great idea. Almost. That was never going to work. It was a cheesy lava lamp. It was a hookah pipe. Those things gave me a headache. Henri may have been a hippie, but a hippie with plenty of disposable income. In the trash can, I found a crumpled letter from Henri's credit card company demanding immediate payment. It listed extravagant purchases from a variety of ladies' fashion stores. The address indicated that Henri lived in the chic and expensive 16th arrondissement of Paris. I decided to put the letter back. Henri's financial problems weren't my business. But now I knew where he lived.
Monsieur, sir, you have snuck in here, and now you are tampering with my evidence.
I'm just looking for the name of the caterer. That cheese was to die for.
Ah, to die for? to kill for. I put it to you, Monsieur... Monsieur...
Stobart. George Stobart.
I put it to you that you came here in search of cheese and killed the owner in a fromage-induced frenzy.
Well, no. I'm from Paris Mutual. We insured the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
Time will tell, monsieur.
Truth will out, Inspector.
Who dares wins, Monsieur Stobart?
He who laughs last laughs loudest, Inspector Nave. The guy was seriously nuts.
May I remind you, monsieur, that a serious crime has been committed. I am going to have to ask you to return to the gallery.
Of course, but I do need to ask you a few questions.
D'accord. But remember, anything you say can be used against you, Monsieur Stobart.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind. Do you know anything about a company called Vera Security?
No, I have never heard of them. Now, I must get on with my investigation.
It's very likely that the security camera holds a clue to the killer's identity.
Monsieur, I am a professional, and you are an amateur. So, leave the investigating to me, huh, pal? Monsieur, you are American, no?
Yeah, California born and bred.
Of course. I think perhaps you are wanting to be like that Starsky and Butch, monsieur. No? Rolling around on top of fast cars with beautiful ladies, firing your gun.
Interesting idea, Inspector, but not really my style.
Indeed. Well, let me tell you something, monsieur. You are my prime suspect. You may go now, but I will need to speak with you again.
I had some valuable leads, but before following up on them, I had important business to attend to. Hey, Nico, you want to grab a quick cup of coffee?
Sure.
I am pleased to announce that I have finished my preliminary investigation. This is now an official crime scene, and you must all go. I shall be questioning all of you again in the coming days. Nobody is to leave the country, particularly you, Monsieur Stobart. Monsieur Lane will stay behind to help secure the premises. Mo?
Yes, Inspector.
Let them out.
Right away, sir.
Two coffees, please.
Nice work in there, Nico. Whatever you did, it worked.
I just made a tiny distraction, and Nave bought it.
I think Nave would buy anything if it had blood on it. You know, this whole setup, the theft, the murder, it just doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
Like I said, I think it was an inside job.
Go on.
Someone disabled the alarm, but on just one painting.
Let me guess. La Maledictio.
Exactly. And I aim to find out who did it. The CCTV picked up an image of the thief. His helmet had the words Waterloo Motors written across it.
Interesting. I think I got a couple of good shots of him too, but I need to take a better look at them at home.
Great. Let me know what you find. Well, the priest thinks La Maledictio is evil.
Charles, she's just crazy.
Yeah, you're probably right. But there's something strange going on. I found the address of the security company Henri employed. It was not the one that I recommended.
Good luck with your investigations. Well, I guess I should go. This story won't write itself. And Georges?
Yeah?
It's good to see you again.
Great to see you too, Nico. I watched her walk away. The sound of traffic, the sun shining, a crime to solve, and Nico back in my life. The address led me to a dead-end alley at the end of a deadbeat mall. No wonder I'd never heard of Vera Security. Vera Security. I was going to get some answers there. I hoped. The aircon went nicely with the Art Deco detailing.
Help!
What's wrong?
There's a monster
What? Where?
on the floor. Get rid of it.
Oh, the cockroach.
Yes, the cockroach. Help!
Come here, little fella. I was never going to catch it with my bare hands. That wasn't worth trying. That would have violated the Chemical Weapons Convention. That wouldn't make any sense. Romanovs, a Russian brand cigarette. The pack was empty. A crumpled cigarette pack. The ashtray was full of cigarette butts. The filters were gold-colored. Very exotic. As a child, I'd always been told not to play with matches, but I never could resist. There was a huge cockroach in the... I tipped out the matches. I couldn't catch it just by swiping at it. I'd need to entice it closer. They didn't go together. I couldn't catch it, just... There were crumbs on the floor. No wonder the cockroach was sticking around. I set down my matchbox. Cockroaches like hiding in dark places. Not a bad idea when you think about it. Cockroach wasn't going for it. I needed some bait. I was never going to catch it with my bare hands. Hello, I'm...
Cockroach!
Hello, I'm George Stobart.
Call me Bassam. And do please forgive me, but I'm in no mood to talk. I have a resounding headache.
Could you help me with a vermin problem, please?
Please, Mr. Stobart, I really can't deal with other people's problems right now.
Do you know anything about Vera Security over there?
Not really. I haven't been here long, but neither have they by the looks of it.
Why do you say that?
Rush setup, new sign, low investment, and no customers except for you.
Bad migraine, eh?
The worst. The buzzing and flashing from the old sign is killing me. I thought the neon sign had potential until it broke.
Is it your sign?
No, the previous owners. Used to be a restaurant. But this is horrible. Adversely affecting my footfall and giving me a splitting headache.
You want me to try fixing that sign for you?
Do you know what you're doing?
I'm very good at fixing things.
Then please do. I'm no good at electricals. Marketing analysis and predicting trends is more my thing.
Smell this.
Ooh. At least it's the real thing.
Do you have any use for nail clippers?
No.
I didn't think there was much point. I've got some matches.
Always good to have.
The stall was a myriad of retro kitsch. Bottle stoppers, keychains, musical cards. I took a good look at the sign. The wiring was exposed and the cover broken. No wonder it was flashing. I pulled the wire off. Well, that was one way to stop the letters flashing. Now only half the sign was illuminated. The buzzing and flashing has stopped.
And I'm very grateful. But the sign still looks pretty terrible, doesn't it? When you're building a brand from the ground up, name is everything. I need a name that makes my customers long for adventure and treasures from faraway places.
I could take a look at your sign, come up with something.
You're like a genie from a magic lamp.
Could you help me with a vermin problem, please?
I'm sorry, until I kickstart this business, I need a brand. A clear message that grabs my key demographic by the lapels and hurls them into my economic bailiwick.
Excuse me?
You know, a name that sounds magical and exotic, that appeals to a yearning they only feel subconsciously.
I decided to keep the wire. If Bassam knew... Tell me about your business idea.
This stall is going to put me through college, while giving me field experience. But the nonsense sign is working against me. It should spell a name for my shop. I need something original, yet familiar, bright and in your face, yet subtle and symbolic.
Seemed the letters could be moved around. Shame it didn't have the right letters to spell Bassam. I'd have to think of something else. The sign looked pretty sad. That was never going to work. Ah, Brett. The frig... Aha. That seemed like a good name. Hey, Bassam, how about this? I know it's not your name, but...
Aladdin. Very cool. That's a terrific name for my store. Hits every one of my USPs.
Glad you like it.
You're a genius, George. Let me know if I can do anything for you.
The stall was a myriad of bottle stoppers, keychains, musical calls.
Aha, Mr. Stobart. What can I do for you?
Do you happen to know a good way to catch a cockroach?
To be honest, George, I'm better at questions on balancing budgets within a liberal economic framework. But as a layman, perhaps I could suggest you trap it? And please, whatever you do, don't squish it.
Why's that?
The entire family will catch the scent and arrive for the funeral.
Ooh, we don't want that.
You need to find a container of some sort. Then I think add this.
Rich tea. What's that, a cookie?
The perfect cockroach biscuit. Dry, dull, unsatisfying, and yet curiously Moorish.
I'll give it a try.
Glad to help.
I really like your new sign.
It's magnificent. I owe you one.
What do you think?
I'm over the moon, George. And you know what they say, happy sellers make happy shoppers.
So what are you selling?
Ah, I'm glad you asked. I sell all those things you can't get anywhere else in Paris.
Like?
English biscuits, Turkish delight, French cassettes, Brazilian Betamax videos.
Thank you for the cookie.
You're very welcome.
I was sure a bit of food would entice the little fella closer, but he just wouldn't eat from my hands. I added some bait to the matchbox. Even I was finding it hard to resist that little trap. Gotcha!
You are a gentleman and no mistake. I hate cockroaches.
Always ready to help a damsel in distress.
I bet you are. Can I help you?
Yes, please. Do you know if there's anyone in the office I can talk business with?
Yes, me, chérie. I'm Annette, the manager.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean... the gloves. I just thought...
Ah, easy mistake to make. If you haven't been reconstructed, that is.
Oh, but I have been reconstructed. A number of times. From the ground up.
Yes?
There's been a theft at Le Lézard Bleu. A painting's been stolen.
Shame. Still, I'm sure you'll get over it.
I believe your company set up the security.
Oh, no, we didn't.
Oh, yes, you did.
Didn't.
Did.
I've got all day.
But I didn't. It says here that Vera was hired to do the security at the gallery. Didn't do a very good job, did you?
Where did you get that?
At the gallery.
That job was signed off. You can't say we were to blame.
I was getting a bad feeling. The place looked like a front, and the only person there wasn't helping. Maybe the office itself could give me more information.
Are you done? Only I want to listen to this next race.
I caught the cockroach. Look, isn't he a sweetie?
Ah! Keep it away from me!
Thanks.
please stay on the other side of the counter?
It was like she had some kind of psychic power. She could just feel what I was trying to do.
Look, do you mind not touching the office equipment?
Annette's peripheral vision was, quite simply, astounding. The Vera phone. All expenses had been spared.
Do you mind? I'm listening to the race.
Annette was watching me like a hawk.
Aha, Mr. Stobart.
That cookie did the trick.
Right customer, right product. It's a winning combination.
The place looked like it had been out of business for a while. Hey, Nico. I've arrived at Vera Security. It's a pretty seedy outfit.
Great. Anything else?
Not right now.
Well, call back if you find anything.
Mr. Rickenbacker? I decided to pay a visit to Vera Security, the company that Henri used.
Great. Get digging and find out what you can. Hello, Vera Security?
George Stobart here.
I can see you through the window, monsieur. Why don't you come in and stop wasting my time?
What can I do?
Annette, could I just have a quick look in your back office?
What do you take me for?
What? No. I mean, can I look in there?
Oh, I see. No, you can't. It's private.
Are you betting on a horse?
No, I just like hearing the sound of hooves.
Oh, well, that's unusual.
Don't be an idiot. I got 50 euros on Lucky Break.
Ah, well, I hope you win.
So do I, chérie. So do I.
Do you recognize it?
Oof! That would take the hair off your legs. I had a boss who wore that. Know what I mean?
Do these clippers look familiar?
Yes. I mean, no. Why should they look familiar? Yeah, you've shown me already.
I've got a cookie.
Those dry things are disgusting.
Thanks. The office looked like... I decided to stay till I'd squeezed what I could from Annette.
Aha.
So, what else?
Stop by now and then. You'll be surprised.
No kidding? That cookie did the trick. Thank you for the cookie.
You're very... Aha, Mr.
I caught the cockroach, look.
Excellent work. Just don't let it loose near my stall. In a few weeks, this place is going to be buzzing with people, I hope, not vermin.
I think I'll keep him. I'll name him Trevor.
Interesting name. Old school, comforting, harmless. I can see you're quite a strategic thinker, George.
I didn't think there was much point. I decided to keep the wire. If Bassam knew how flimsy the sign was...
Hands off, mister.
Can I just have a look?
Certainly not. That book is very private.
She might talk to me now. She might talk to me now. I've got some matches.
Yes, I saw you pick them up. Keep them. I can't afford to smoke anymore.
That wouldn't work. That wasn't worth trying.
Yes. No thanks.
I caught the cockroach. Look, isn't he a sweetie?
Ah! Keep it away from me!
Thanks.
Look.
Annette's... I needed a better idea. The place looked very much like temporary accommodation.
Yes. No thanks.
Thanks. A crumpled cigarette pack. That wouldn't have worked. That wouldn't work. Romanov's. It was empty. I wasn't going to talk to Nico about this place with the manager listening in. Hi, Nico.
Let me guess. You've discovered something else?
Not right now.
Well, call back if you find it.
The aircon went nicely with the Art Deco detailing. Vera's secure. The place looked. I decided to stay till I'd. The guy managed to.
Aha.
So, what else?
And he who controls the...
He struck me as more of an aftershave kind of guy. Do you have any use for nail clippers?
Nail clippers? The pocket knife's little brother.
Yeah, I like that. I better hang on to him. That cookie did the...
Right.
I didn't... I've got some matches.
Always good to have.
That was almost a great idea. Almost. It didn't work. They didn't go together. I fed Trevor a crumb. He loved that biscuit. I could hear the little fella scuttling around in there. I could hear the little fella scuttling around in there. Not a snowball's chance. That wasn't quite right. That so didn't work. No, that didn't work. That was never. They did. A small piece of wire. No, that didn't work. I fed Trevor a matches always came in handy. Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time. I needed a... The Vera phone. All That was that wouldn't make any sense. I didn't want to leave that. That wasn't... That was never... That was never... I caught the cock.
Ah! Keep it!
It looked like there was a back office through the door. Annette had her radio on. Sounded like a horse race. It was a little black book, and they are always interesting. I fed Trevor a crumb. He loved it. Not a snowball. I wasn't gonna... I didn't want to bother Rick.
Hello, Vera Security. We make you secure. Wrong number again. Damn nuisance calls.
I wanted to see what secrets the book might contain. There was a photo. Of course, I grabbed it. A very bad photo of Lane in a net. That guy sure got around. Recognize this?
Hey, that's my photo.
That's you with Lane, I believe.
So, what if it is?
What is he to you?
Oh, my Hector, that's what he is. My little Hector.
Yeah, I thought you said you had nothing to do with the gallery.
Look, here's how it is. I've only been here a few weeks. I had nothing to do with that gallery job. I just delivered the paperwork.
So, who's the manager before you?
I don't know. She just, one day, didn't come in for work. I shouldn't be talking to you. The boss told me to keep my mouth shut. What can I do for you?
So, what happened on your date with Lane?
I'm not sure I'd call it a date.
You can do better than that, Annette.
Here, are you asking me out?
No, I meant, tell me more.
Oh, like that is it? Want the details, do you?
No. Look, let's just move on, okay? The boss. Have you got his number or address?
No, I've forgotten it. I mean, I never knew it.
Annette, a serious crime has been committed. You're in a lot of trouble.
I had nothing to do with it. Look, I need this job. I need the money. Anyway, it's only a silly old painting. No one got hurt.
The gallery owner was shot.
Badly?
Yeah, he's pretty dead.
Oh.
This is a murder investigation. Now, who's your boss?
I don't know. Honest, he faxes me if he wants anything.
He? Who's he?
I've never seen him, never met him. Don't make trouble for poor Annette.
Thanks. I was pretty sure Annette had told me all she was going to. She sounded scared. Time to put the thumb screws on Lane, and I knew just how. Hi, Nico.
Let me guess. You've discovered something else?
Well, it looks like the lady that works at Vera is friendly with Lane.
No accounting for taste. Anything else?
The back office of Vera Security might be worth looking at, but I can't do it with Annette here.
Let me know if you find anything interesting.
I'm going to try and find Lane. I'll tell you what he has to say. Take care. I didn't want to buy... Do you recognize these two people?
Never saw the big guy before, but the lady works opposite.
Have you seen anyone else in the Vera office?
No, but I haven't had my shop here long, only a couple of days.
Time to confront Lane.